Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Tiny Box Ryan, and you're watching me go from zero to hero on a Shadow Priest in the War Within Season 2. Now, you can see there's some changes to Gobthulu's look. That is because last stream, yesterday evening, we went and farmed Nyalotha like absolute madmen. And honestly, I got most of the set on the first run, most of this cloth set, and then I kept running it because I wanted to get the mount. Unfortunately, I did not get the mount, which you can kind of expect because mounts just don't drop that often, obviously. And then I looked at other options for the mount and I just could not find anything. So I am a little bit disappointed. But that being said, I'm still pretty happy with just having the cloth set, and we'll stick to the old fishy fish. It's not a perfect match for a Transmog, but it'll do. That'll do, fish. That'll do. But yes, Gobthulu is now his authentic self, his best version of himself. And now we can go on and do our +4 Priory of the Sacred Flame. Hopefully we time it with 2 stars, and that way we can actually hop into a +6. Ideally, I would do that in this video, and then I can farm 6s on this character in the upcoming stream. Where am I going? I have no idea. Who knows? What I've done in the meantime, though, is I've added some more WeakAuras support for the Dark Ascension build. I've also managed to set things up a little bit better in the sense of I've looked up how to actually play the Dark Ascension build, and I now know my priorities and stuff. So I should be doing a little bit better. I have realized now that I am running Insidious Ire, which means I absolutely have to have Devouring Plague up before I use Void Torrent. I've also switched to Distorted Reality so that I actually use the Devouring Plague, so that I actually have it for a lot longer, right? So the uptime on Distorted Reality will help quite a bit with just managing to get more out of our mastery so that we get more out of our Mind Spikes and our Mind Blasts and our Void Blasts and our Void Torrent at the end of the day, because it's easier to keep uptime on it. Now, we're going to get started by hosting our own key, and like I said, if I 2-star this, I'm probably only going to show highlights of myself doing crazy damage or big plays or whatever. I don't know. We'll see what I end up putting in the video. But if we 2-star it, I'm probably going to just show tiny bits of the +4 Priory, and I'm going to skip into showing you the full commentated +6 key instead. Now we just have to hope that we actually get to do this because it is 10 a.m. and maybe there's not that many people trying to do +4 keys. Never mind. There is a lovely Windwalker monk trying to join us, so let's invite them. I'm at 646, so inviting someone who's 648 doesn't feel bad. He's just 2 item levels above me, which could be a single item, so that's nice. 653, though, that does feel a little bit bad to invite, but I'm a holdout. We kind of want a Bloodlust DPS, most likely. Anyway, I will talk to you in the dungeon, probably. We'll see. And here we go with a Priory of the Sacred Flame. I did end up inviting that Demon Hunter that applied with 650 something item level. They didn't have amazing clear, so I figured screw it. And there weren't many people applying, so I just went for that. We got a Lust from our Shaman, so yeah. We're doing a big pull here at the start, supposedly. I'm going to start dotting things up that have already been hit, and then we're going to drop one thing on the Knight here, and we're going to just try and go ham. Hold on here now. Yeah, this person and just go Void Torrent without using Devouring Plague like an idiot. Ha ha ha, that's great. Good job, lad. But we're trying to get other damage out. We're going to drop a Fade here because I seem to have aggro on some of these Shadow. Ooh, I don't like that. Don't like that one bit. Let's get another Shadow thingy down. I didn't pay attention to the Knights interrupting me. That's unfortunate. But we're still doing some kind of damage. That's kind of nice. I'm trying to... Oh, I'm going to use a big defensive here because I got hit by one of the things. I just cannot see them. This pull's a bit too big for my liking. We're going to drop a Shadow Crash, try and get our another... what is this thing called? Devouring Plague up. There we go. We have a Devouring Plague. Now we're going to Drain. There is a Defend up. I don't think it's affecting my current target, so I think we should be okay. Disrupting Shout's coming through. We're just going to stick to the instant cast for right now. There we go. There's another Disrupting Shout I don't want to cast. There we go. Now, another Shadow Crash with targeting the other Knight. Let's go. I'm trying to use another Dark Ascension here. I should have a Void Torrent up momentarily, but so far so good. Healer's pumping HPS. We're nice and safe. We're going to dot these things up manually. Why not? We want to get a Devouring Plague up. We're going to put it on this one because he has more health, and we're going to immediately send out our Void Torrent to finish this off. We're going to pull one of these groups with Chainmail. And then I'm going to go ahead and activate our buff here. I'm going to soothe these guys just to make sure this is nice and safe. There we go. There's our buff. Send this in. Target Suleiman. Put dots up on this one as well. Target Suleiman again. And let's get some mind spikes out. There we go. Beautiful. Don't want to use too many of the mind spikes in a row because it buffs up our mind. Oh, I can use while moving. I thought I canceled my Void Torrent. That would have been tragic. I'm just going to go ahead and CC here. Or not CC, but interrupt. I do have PI available here. We're going to send this out and we're going to PI the... I should probably be PIing the monk. The monk's getting a lot more value out of his DPS, so maybe I should be PIing the monk, but that's all right. Another Shadow Crash. Keep those dots up. Gotta use Shadow Crash on cooldown. But yeah, I'm a little overwhelmed, but we have a Void Torrent, and that is gonna give us the Entropic Rift again. Gonna give us a shit ton of damage. Need those Void Blasts out. I found out that they are more important than anything else that we're doing. Touch of Death takes care of that. We're pulling the Warlinks. Are we pulling the Warlinks? We seem to be pulling the Warlinks, so I'm gonna focus on killing those Warlinks. I'm being line of sighted by this little block here. I'm going to try and move closer so that potentially other things... Okay, now we're going to switch over to focusing Chainmail. Put the Devouring Plague on that. Let's put out a Halo and let's Void Torrent. I am rooted. I'm going to use both of my defensives here as soon as I'm done channeling this because that root does a lot of damage. I didn't see it on the ground there. I'm going to step over here. There's no reason for me not to step over here. And let's use Dark Ascension here. Kind of didn't overlap it with my Void Torrent, which is a mistake, I think, but I don't know how big of a mistake it is. It's just something I kind of had to do. I want to send my cooldowns on cooldown, but I really need to get better at syncing my cooldowns up. I've seen people point that out to me in the comments on the previous episode. Trying to get this Devouring Plague up, and then we're going to Void Torrent. There we go. Void Torrent. Nice. I don't want to use my, what is this guy called? The little guy that crawls around and is creepy and shit. I keep pushing my camera into this goddamn tree. I guess I'll just heal myself here. Natty. And give myself a shield for one of these ticks. Healer is trying to drink. It looks like we're pulling we're pulling absolutely everything here. That I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't know about that one. I'm gonna look to kick Iamia. I don't know about that one, Chief. I'm gonna PI the healer here and just kind of hope for the best. I'm gonna dispersion while this is active. We got my little wings during dispersion. Not great. Kind of an overpull in my guesstimation, but let's yeah, I literally can't. I can't survive that. That is an overpull. This guy says that it's for all key levels. How are you gonna do this in a 12 or whatever? He linked us a route that says all key levels, all levels or whatever, and then he does a pull like that, everything in here. There's no chance that's gonna work out unless you have lust or some shit. We did not lust on the first pull like the tank requested. That might explain why it took so long, but still, this is kind of insane that we're doing this. And the healer's doing an amazing job keeping us alive through that, or keeping most people alive through that. The light spawn beams are coming in crazy. We're gonna go ahead and just use a Void Torrent to try and help heal the group here, trying to do as much damage as I reasonably can. I am still going strong over there, trying to do as much damage as I can during my Vampiric Embrace. Try to just heal the group as much as reasonable. I use Void Torrent without the thingy thing active. That's unfortunate, but that's just how it ended up working out. I'm getting beamed. I'm going to use both my defensives. I didn't realize in time that I was being beamed. Iamia needs to get moved out of that, otherwise she's going to get healed a shit ton. We did not manage to move her out. I think the thing died by blowing up, not by us killing it, so Iamia just healed. We're gonna kick that smite to try and minimize some of this damage. I don't know if I should have Void Torrented here. It feels like a bit of a waste, but whatever. Let's MD here. I literally only MD'd myself because nobody, whatever. I'll just dispel someone and call it a day. That'll be my contribution. I haven't been paying much attention to that. We're gonna soothe that. I don't think I can soothe the beasts over there, so we'll see how that ends up working out. I don't have a kick for this. Our tank's just gonna get stunned. It looks like whatever. Oh man, this is miserable. He's pulling too aggressively. It's textbook tank doesn't understand how difficult the key is. But it's whatever. It's whatever. Not my problem. I'm not the healer, right? I just need to use my defensives when it's necessary, and that is all. Shift 3, get that halo out. We've pulled more stuff. I'm gonna interrupt that stun on the tank. Healer went down, tank went down. I'm just gonna go stand in shit and die. I don't know why people are fighting to stay alive. Just die and reset this. I don't know why the tank is upset. He pulled that pack in the stupidest spot possible, right next to the other pack with a Havoc Demon Hunter in the group. So I really don't understand why he's surprised that we pulled extra stuff. I think that I'm getting my serving of default VDH players. Right, they just kind of eat doo-doo the entire run, and then they talk and chat about what should happen or shouldn't happen. We're going to go ahead and interrupt that. There is a Knight in the Pull and Dual Maul, so this is going to be very interesting. All right, let's send out our Halo. Let's send out our thingy. Activate this. That should be enough. I really hope I don't get interrupted. I'm going to get interrupted. I'm going to stop casting just so I don't get interrupted. I'm going to start using my Void Blast. That's really, really unfortunate, by the way, the fact that I got interrupted there. Cannot understate just how devastating that was, because I finally got a Void Torrent through to cast. I'm going to soothe this because our healer friend is standing a little bit close to it. I just really want to make sure those don't get pulled. Bit of a roughie here, bit of a roughie. Not 100% certain this is going to go into the +2 territory, if you know what I mean. I'm going to hold my cooldowns here because boss is being pulled next, and I have PI, and okay, I guess we're pulling those as well. Cool. We're going for the legendary 400% route. I have to manually dot all of these because I have 6 seconds until I get my shadow crash. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have dotted 1 or whatever, but I really want to send. I really want to send here. I'm just getting blasted. I'm going to use both my defensives because I'm getting jumped on. I have 2 stacks of the bleed, so I'm going to require some big heals here. I'm actually going to go ahead and use my thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. We're also going to mass dispel here because we have a bunch of people that we can dispel with it from the affix. Okay. So far, so good. Again, haven't sent my cooldowns here on this trash pack because we're about to pull the boss, and I feel like that would be much more valuable. And there we go. All right, let's grab this so we have a good opener on the boss, and let's send a Halo into a PI on this guy. Shadow Crash. Try and get our Devouring Plague up. Devouring Plague is up. We're going to use Dark Ascension and then Void Torrent. Beautiful. I'm going to try and step a little bit closer here so that if he jumps on me, I still stay in the thing. All right, there we go. We got our interrupt out. We got a good chunk of damage there. Nothing particularly amazing, but I still feel happy that I did my opener correctly, at least. Sorry about the cough there. It's just a little bit difficult sometimes to keep speaking for so long, especially when I just woke up. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I really should be using some kind of defensive for this beam or this AoE, but I think it worked out. We're going to Shadow Crash so we don't lose our dots in the middle of that. Really need someone to interrupt that. Beautiful, they did. Got our full Void Torrent out. I might be in a better spot here if I just spread out my Devouring Plague between both targets so that I have more damage happening at the same time. I don't have MD, but I can dispel myself, so we're going to go ahead and do that. People are being dispelled probably by the Shaman's Totem. Beautiful. We're going to send out Dark Ascension again. I got mauled, but that's all right. Our healer went down. We don't have a CR, and I don't have the thingies. He has Reincarnation. We're going to try and help the healer out by using our, what's it called? The thingy that heals people when I do damage. It's nice. I like that. I think the healer got caught with the spear from El Jefe here. But everything's dead now, and we can move on. Rough pull coming up next. We still haven't lust this at least, because I know this tank for a fact is going to pull a shit ton here, and he's also going to forget to actually heal himself. How did I not apply dots to that person that I sent my Shadow Crash at? I do not know. But we have enough stuff up now. Let's actually send our thingy thing with the stuffy stuff. What is this thing called? Void Torrent. Yeah, I mean, that's what my rotation kind of rotates around. We're going to send PI now, a little bit the belated PI. Probably should have sought to sync those cooldowns up a little bit better, but so far so good. Shaman still hasn't used his Bloodlust. He's allergic to the button, I think. He's opening up the... He's opening up the spell book and looking for Bloodlust. He can't seem to find it. He's a little confused by the concept. We're going to AoE Mass Dispel here. Take care of that. Make sure that the Shaman doesn't have to look for his the spell buttons either. Screw it. He can just spam chain heal. Good. Alright, let's target a Paladin. Shadow Crash the Paladin. Drop a Fade so I don't get smacked by that. We're going to try and get our Devouring Plague out. Let's send out the Halo. Send out our Shadow Fiend. There's our Devouring Plague. Send out Void Torrent. We have 2 stacks of Void Blast. We're going to send those out. Let's target a different Paladin. I'm going to send my defensive here. My health increasing defensive. Send a Shadow Crash. Keep Devouring Plague up. Keep blasting the bejesus out of those Paladins. They need to die quickly. I don't want to use Dark Ascension. Actually, I'm going to use Dark Ascension here. I'm trying to sync up my cooldowns. It's just never going to happen in these pulls that don't last as long as they should. Well, maybe that's not exactly correct. These pulls have been lasting long enough. I've just been bad at managing my cooldowns. Let's put it that way. I really, really, really don't want to send my Void Torrent here. Things probably still going to be crazy and pull all sorts of shit here. I don't have Mass Dispel. I'm going to dispel myself and call it a day. I have Shadow Crash coming in soon, so I'm just going to send Shadow Crash here. I'm going to silence this Conjurer to hopefully get him to join us. 10 seconds to PI. I'm going to send Void Torrent. I really don't want to sit here with Void Torrent up. It feels like a waste. Trying to get these Void Blasts out. I think Mind Spike does still give crit chance on Void's thingy. We're going to buff our friend. I really should use it during my cooldowns, but again, I just want to send my cooldowns on cooldown. It feels weird to not do it otherwise because I never have them synced up, but hopefully we get a little break here while the boss spawns in and I manage to sync things up a little bit better. I cannot wait to get rid of this Entropic Skeleton Core because I'm just having to run and pick up these little stupid things on the ground, but things seem to be working out now. I think, yeah, well, I have Dark Ascension in this lined up, 30 seconds away from lining it up with my PI, but we'll see how that ends up working. We're getting mana for our friend here, Lust. Use your Lust button. It's a boss, please. You just saw me type out Lust. Please use your Lust. Whatever, man. All right, we're gonna send out Dark Ascension and Void Torrent. We can move away. Our friend, the Demon Hunter, might be in a bit of trouble there. He was eye-beaming right as we were moving. Our guy just refuses to use Spike. It's unfortunate. All right, people are grabbing the dot. I'm going to dispel myself. Healer seems to have the totem down, so we should be okay. At least I think he has the totem down. I don't know. I'm going to send out a Halo for the extra bit of insanity there. Probably not the best button. I don't know if I even need to press Halo ever in this build, but I've been doing it because I like the button. It's a nice button. It's a pretty button even. I'm going to press Void Torrent and just float away. I don't know how much I'm desyncing my cooldowns at this point, but it's kind of been the theme of this run so far, is me not having my cooldowns up at the same time ever. Somebody needs to handle that. I'll go in and handle it myself. Our main guy, the tank guy, he's struggling a little bit here. We used our group heal thing to try and direct our healing into him. I'm gonna give him a shield that probably does nothing. I'm gonna grab that and let's PI. Let's PI. Send this. Sending absolutely everything. I'm gonna go over there, try and get one of the dots for myself. There we go. I'll use a small defensive for that. Let's reapply our dots here. I messed that up, but Brawn Pike is dead. We kind of didn't need to soak those, but whatever. I'm gonna dispel our Demon Hunter friend, and our tank is just running away from anyone who can dispel him, so we're gonna try and give him a heal. There we go. All right, with Shadow Crash should cover all of these with dots. So I'm sending my Mind Blast, which is probably not the best choice of ability to send. So I guess I have Void Blasts anyway, so it kind of works out. Okay, we're going to kick that Greater Heal, try and finish off this Paladin that we started on. At least I'm kind of feeling like whatever it is that I target does die pretty dang quick with my prio damage, so that's kind of nice. I don't want to send any cooldowns on the rest of this pack. It just feels like it's not gonna work out. It's gonna desync my cooldowns, but it just feels bad to send cooldowns and then walk away with 10 seconds of cooldowns remaining or whatever. So we're just gonna finish the pack off and move on. We're gonna help our healer out as soon as we can. Let's just yoink him up here. He wants us to line of sight. Okay, we can do that. I'm just gonna line of sight here. Oh, he's pulling the big pack on the left. We're genuinely going for the legendary 700% pull. All right, gonna put focus on the mage. Gonna Shadow Crash here. Gonna put dots on the mage. We're going to interrupt the mage because people weren't really line of sighting, myself included. So let's just send it here. Let's just send it into the Paladin. Screw it. I'll have PI coming up in a second here, and I'll use it. I didn't stand in that because it wasn't taking damage, and I didn't feel like it was necessary, that thing. You know, PI our friend here. Reapply Shadow Crash, try and get some damage out. The Greater Heal coming out. We're gonna fear the mage. I don't want the mage thing to go out. That would really suck. Let's try and send some AoE heals into the group. Fireball Volley goes out. Good thing I got my heals going. I'm gonna use a big defensive here. I'm gonna just do this, otherwise I think I just might die. I'm just gonna call it. I'm just gonna keep it safe here and just gonna walk away. All right, I keep giving myself the wrong buff. I'm trying to give myself the movement speed buff to collect the orb, but I don't do that. What the hell is this route, man? I don't understand why we're doing this route. He's going straight through the middle. He's pulling Brawn Pike and this, and we just pulled more. Are you good, bro? The f is this route? I don't know, man. I can soothe this, but I can't soothe the light spawn, and I'm pretty sure that's what pulled. He just pulled extra shit. We're gonna kick that mate. He just keeps dying, bro. You cannot live that. It's social aggro. Mobs that are close to other mobs will pull other mobs when they get pulled. It's that simple. I don't know why my tank is so confused. No bueno on the 2-star here because our tank keeps murdering us. Maybe he really wants to pull the extra. He really wants to pull that. I used a soothe on those, but one of them is immune to that. I think it's because it's undead. I don't know. I'm going to dispel myself as I'm on my way to the group there. That is an absolutely insane pull. I'm going to use both my defensives and walk in and probably still die anyway. I'm soothing that pack. I don't want it to get pulled. They're all undead, so I can't do anything. Brawn Pike is there. I'm trying to target him. Let's PI this person and send our cooldowns. I didn't have this thing up. Oh god, we have 3 greater heals coming in and 0 kicks coming in. 1 kick came out. That's good. That's something. Send our group group heal and just try to keep people alive through the Brawn Pike damage. It is a +4, so the damage isn't overwhelming, but I think I'm going to send out my Halo just for that little bit of healing. I'm going to step into this, try and keep myself alive. We managed to kill it by popping all our cooldowns, except for Bloodlust, because we just don't want to pull Bloodlust. I guess that one was on me. I pulled that group because I thought they were soothed, but they were not soothed. We're going to be missing percent if we don't pull that group over there, so that's something. I'm going to put focus on that priest. I'm going to start dotting up a few of these, even though I probably don't need to. Line of sight gets the group all pulled together. We do have a Devouring Plague up, so we're going to send our Void Torrent. 3 minutes 20 remaining. We do not have percent. Not sure what the plan is here by the tank regarding the percent. He might be pulling a group into the boss. Okay, we managed to pull here. We're going to use Fade, make sure I don't have aggro. Light Spawn comes in. My group heal is on cooldown, so I'm unable to use it. I don't have anything else, but I have Dark Ascension up. We're going to send it. I'm going to kick one of these volleys just to make sure that we survive. I don't have any defensives up to help my healers, like, not let me die. We're going to fear this. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. I'm looking for the mages to try and interrupt them. Shadow Crash goes out. Let's get that Void Torrent. How does my Shadow Crash not land onto the target that I sent my Shadow Crash on? I could not begin to explain how that works, but we're just going to make it work. Still kicks not going out on this. I'm the only person that has sent kicks in this poll. That is kind of insane that is happening to us right now. But we have percent and we have 2 minutes 20 seconds remaining. Potentially our healer might lust. Maybe we get one lust for this dungeon. Maybe. I'm just going to send my cooldowns right now because he might just send it right now, even though we just told him to send it later. He just used it now. Yep, there we go. Yep. The one lust he sends it the wrong time. F it, man, whatever. Blinding light coming out. We need to turn around and do this. 2 people got CC'd by that. We're going to mass dispel that so the healer doesn't have to worry about it. I'm over here at the end. I'm going to dispel myself, send the Halo for a bit of the damage that's coming out to the group now, and let's get back to blasting the boss with damage. All right. I'm going to send my Void Torrent here in just a moment. At least we got one Bloodlust in this dungeon. We got one Bloodlust in this dungeon. I'm going to turn around, not get blinded. Healer gets blinded, so he can't dispel them. Hopefully nothing drops on top of their heads right now. Nothing did. People don't know that they need to turn around. All right, let's do this. Let's run up there. Let's run. Keep running, running. And at least I know they need to run up there. All right. I don't have Shadow Crash. I don't care about Shadow Crash right now. I'm going to send Shadow Crash on those guys. I'm going to try and fear these mobs as they come up here, but that's kind of risky for myself to do. We have the interrupt coming in. We're going to fear these mobs as they come in. That's perfect. And let's send our cooldowns here. I'm going to try to drop aggro, but these guys kind of don't care about aggro. Oh, Jesus. Okay, let's step back into this safety zone here. The little circle will be perfect. Nice. Okay, we're going to start getting beamed here in a second, so I'm going to stand off to the side in case I need to lead the beam away from us. It's not on me, it's on the shaman. We're going to Shadow Crash, turn around. Mass Dispel is not available. I'm going to dispel myself from this. People are getting beamed down. Our 1 DPS is dead. 17 seconds remaining on the 2-star. 2-star is just not happening without a CR here. Well, it's not happening even if we had the CR because we just, I don't know. The 3 wipes in a row on the seconds, this area trash, it just wasn't doing it. It just wasn't doing it for us. Beam on me, running away from the beam, running away from that blind. Healer has been blinded by every single blinding light so far. We're going to try and send some cooldowns here. Let's put Devouring Plague up on the boss, PI on this friend here. And let's send Dark Ascension, try and kill this thing and get me out. Let's res the healer. The route for this run was interesting, and the lack of lust was also very interesting. But other than that, I feel like we did okay. My damage isn't great, I don't think. And our other person in the group just kind of released. I didn't get jack shit from loot, and I got a +5 key. So I think we're just gonna leave it at this for this episode, and then next episode, I guess I'll try to do a +5, time it, and then have 6s finally. Jesus Christ. Valora got Bursting Light Shard. I don't know if they need that. Let's check their gear. They've already Hearthstoned out. I don't think they do. I would love that trinket compared to what I'm using right now. And our healer pieced out, so we don't get to know if they actually need the trinket or not. That's unfortunate. Unfortunato, but at least we had a bit of fun. I think I did a little bit better. I don't know if 1.71 million overall at 646 is good or not. I don't have my tier set, and my dumb ass managed to forget again to go and get the tier set. I'm going to go tierify my shoulders before I forget. I'm such an idiot, man. Sometimes I just pure brain rot and I don't remember to do this. And it even gives us haste mastery, heavy mastery. That's perfect. We're going to grab the shoulder to give us the 2 set. I don't even know what the 2 set does. Let's find out. Your damaging spells have a chance to hit a jackpot that fires a void bolt at an enemy at 100% effectiveness. Casting Dark Ascension or Void Eruption always hits a jackpot. So I just send out a void bolt. Anyway, the 4 set is what I'm more interested in. Hitting a jackpot grants you 5 seconds of power infusion, mind blast, void blast, and void bolt deal 10% increased damage while power infusion is active. Interesting. So I get 5 seconds of PI every time I use my cooldowns, and then my cooldowns are more powerful. So void blast is the thing I get from Void Torrent from the Entropic Rift. So I definitely want to overlap PI and Dark Ascension with Void Torrent. That sounds like a good idea. Okay, cool. That's when I have my 4 set. Right now, I just kind of send shit and hope for the best. I don't know, man. I feel like I desynced my cooldowns a lot. That will probably single-handedly improve my DPS. Wrong, Transmog. We were going for the Gob Cthulhu Transmog. Come on. But yeah, if I just manage to stop being stupid and actually sync up my cooldowns, I think I'll do a lot better. That being said, sometimes it just doesn't feel worth to press my cooldowns because the mobs are just about dead or whatever. So I don't know. The desyncing is a big issue, and I don't know. I get into this vicious cycle. I can send my cooldowns, but the mobs are going to be dead in 5 seconds, and then I waste my cooldowns. If I don't send my cooldowns, I desync them, and then the next time I can actually go big, I have to wait for them to sync up, which leads to the same issue again where the mobs are almost dead. So I end up with multiple pulls where I don't use my cooldowns, and I end up not doing as much damage. So I'm just a little bit miffed by how that's been working out, but hey, you know, whatever. I think I might like the Archon build better, just because it doesn't matter. You can send your Halo whenever you want, and you'll just do well. And you can send your, like you can send Halo on cooldown, and it's not going to be an issue. And you can also send Void Torrent, obviously not Void Torrent. Sorry, what am I thinking? Void Eruption. You can send that on cooldown. It'll always line up with PI, because you may as well macro PI into Void Torrent. But yes, not Void Torrent, Void Eruption, whatever, man. So much Void stuff. Anyway, what will be happening today on the stream? I'll probably be running a normal raid to see if I can get some tier pieces, and if I do, that'll be perfect. Ideally, I'd get 2. Even if I just get 1, I don't mind, because I can just catalyze. I think I still have a catalyst charge left, so as long as we get 1 tier piece, we have 4 set for the next run. So that's going to be great. So check out the stream if you want to. I'll be doing the normal raid and maybe some other keys. Who knows? We'll see. But that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like. Let me know what you liked about it in a comment down below. If you had fun, make sure you subscribe, because there's more episodes coming. And if you want to see what happens between these episodes, you can check out the stream. If you don't have time to make it to the stream, you can check out the VODs on Definitely Not VODs. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.